Alright guys, Mr. Pinkball's here. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm still a little flustered. About to do my first tutorial on 3ds Max. Like I said, it's going to be my first one, so if I mess up on something, sorry. It's probably going to happen though. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to prep your 3ds Max for ragdoll effects, and how to pack and unpack the baths for the ragdolls. Let's get started. I'm gonna be chewing gum too, so that's what that nasty sound is. Come on, 3ds Max. Load it up. Oh. Alright. 3ds Max acts weird with this recording program. I'm not sure what exactly the problem is. Doesn't like to open while the recorder's open. Alright, so I'm here with my stock 3ds Max scene. Today, to get the ragdoll effects, what we're going to be using is a thing in 3ds Max called a reactor. Here it is. Alright, now reactor, basically what this does is it makes a world. You put your objects in the world and then they react to it. You can adjust your gravity, your scale, everything. Alright, so the first step to doing this is we're going to import the US soldier skeleton. I guess you can use any skeleton you want. I prefer the US skeleton. If you've watched Archimonde's tutorials, you'd know. Do not have these checked when you import skeletons for soldiers. There's the US soldier. Alright, so we've got the US soldier here. Now what the hell do we do? Alright. Actually, before I get started on this, I just want to show you a working version of this. Alright. Now this is the skeleton I had set up for the game, and it is the one that I've been using. Just pop it in, use for animations. So I'll play the animation real quick for you guys. Now it looks a little jumpy in 3ds Max, but it actually plays good in the game. Not sure why it always looks like that. With the when you play it slower, it doesn't do that, but when you play it at normal speed, it looks like it's flailing all over the place, as you can see. If you import a oops, wrong one. If you import the models from the MDT toolkit, this will you can look at your animations after you export them with mesh on it, which is a good thing because sometimes the skeleton and the mesh they look completely different. So we'll open a 3-player soldier here. And I'll find out where the hell I put that animation. Alright, so here's the soldier. We'll just delete his little helmet, put him in mesh mode. Let me import a bath. Wrong one. Animation, import bath. Okay, where did I put it here? Ragdoll 2, there we go. Alright. I think this actually has more than 100 frames, but I'm not sure. No, it does not. Alright, so once again, this looks jumpy when it hits the ground, but it's really not. You just basically you have to bring it in the game and test it, because you never know what it's gonna act like. But yeah, so that's how you just test it with mesh on it. Or if you want to go do an entire skin modifier on a mesh of your own and test it, that's okay too. But so let's get started back where we were. Import the soldier SKE. We got it here. So now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to create something for this to collide with. Now, when you put this into the world, the graph here is acting as the world. Alright, this line here, this graph here, the lines, they're acting as what the ground will be in game. So you don't want your parts to be underground, or you're not going to be able to see them in game. So I'll just make a box, kind of a small box. That's good enough. Alright. So now you're going to want to straighten out your US soldier skeleton. So I'm just going to pause this video and straighten it out. But before I do, I'm going to explain to you something about the soldier skeleton. When you're moving it, the only modifier you can use to move the skeleton is the rotation. That's it. You can rotate it, you can't do anything else with it. If you use the move tool, the scale tool, something like that, you're going to have problems. Now, I have tested it in game before using the move tool to create certain animations, and it didn't seem to bother it, but as far as I know, don't use it. Alright, so I'm going to pause this, be right back. Alright, so sorry about that. I don't know how to do time lapse. Anyway, so this is pretty much straight how we want it, and I left the feet a certain way because I wanted to clarify on this. A lot of people think that when the feet are like this, because it's named foot, that's how it's supposed to be. That is not how it's supposed to be. Alright, what you would typically think, this part of the foot, the top, bottom, you know, the extending part of your foot, that's actually controlled by this. Alright, by the toe. This part actually is straight down. This is where the ankle is and the back of the foot. Alright, so these always want to be straight down. And then these two control the front part of the foot. Alright, so just wanted to clarify on that. Alright, so this is pretty much straightened out, good to go. We're going to unhide our box. There we go. Actually, hold on. Now, in one instance where you would have to use the move tool, it's like this. And we're gonna do it just because we can. Now, the experiences I've had, maybe Archie's talking about something else. Maybe he's talking about the skin modifier, but the experiences that I've had, this hasn't bothered it. So we're just gonna make sure that the feet are above the ground, which is the lime. And now I'm going to explain to you about reactor. So we have our scene here. We have the skeleton straight up, or whatever pose you want him in. Alright,